Executive Director of Bukhariga Hospital, our friends in the media, ladies and gentlemen, with all protocols observed, let me wish you a very good morning. It's an honor for me to be here today for the official launch of the State of Uganda Population Report for 2025. On behalf of the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, I extend my gratitude to the Uganda Media Center for hosting this event, and indeed to the National Planning Authority for developing this impressive report on behalf of the government of Uganda. The State of the Uganda Population Report provides every year essential analysis of Uganda's population and, more significantly, is a call to action. This year's theme is mental health, a silent emergency, and it draws our attention to an essential component of population health and well-being. As Uganda advances its human capital development agenda under Vision 2040 and NDP 4, mental health needs to be understood not only as a clinical issue belonging in the health sector, but also as a driver of economic productivity and national competitiveness. Untreated mental health conditions weaken educational outcomes, weaken labor participation, weaken household resilience, and undermine the country's ability to harness the demographic dividend. Mental health cases have been rising rapidly. What this report highlights is the potential that can be reached if we take this issue seriously. With robust mental health care systems, and by integrating mental health and well-being into service delivery, the recommendations in the report can serve as a very powerful accelerant for Uganda's development. I would like to highlight a particular area of concern. The report highlights the relationship between mental health on the one hand and sexual and reproductive health and gender-based violence on the other hand. This is a relationship that's mutually reinforcing. It can be positively mutually reinforcing, or it can be negatively mutually reinforcing, depending on our actions. Gender-based violence is significantly correlated with heightened and pervasive risk of severe psychosocial distress among survivors. 54% of married women aged 15 to 49 report that they have experienced physical, sexual, or emotional violence by a husband. 17% of all women report experiencing some form of sexual violence. This is a traumatic experience which encompasses physical, sexual, emotional, and economic abuse, and it leads to a complex array of mental health consequences. This distress is then compounded by social stigma, a lack of adequate support networks, and the systemic impunity that may surround perpetrators, creating a climate of chronic stress and insecurity. Equally, maternal health and mental health are also very linked. Unintended pregnancies and unsafe abortions often lead to intense fear, shame, guilt, social isolation, and societal judgment, which significantly increases the risk of depression. Perinatal depression, a common and severe maternal health complication occurring during and after pregnancy, further impairs bonding and caregiving, and in some cases, engaging in daily life. Obstetric complications such as fistula, the neurobiological shifts inherent to pregnancy, as well as infertility, a major source of distress in cultures where childbearing is central to identity, and chronic anxiety due to fear of disclosure, social rejection, and inclusion. All of these are drivers for mental health issues. We need to take very seriously the issue of teenage pregnancy, also from a mental health perspective. Early family responsibilities and reduced autonomy that are associated with child marriage and early childbearing heighten the risk of girls dropping out of school. It lowers their educational attainment and their employment prospects, and it puts them at greater risk of social and economic isolation and mental stress. So let me be clear, the impacts that I am talking about are devastating for the individuals involved, but they also, as taken as a whole, limit the ability of the country to achieve its development goals. We need to take them seriously on both levels. Strengthening sexual and reproductive health services, including through voluntary family planning and adolescent-friendly services, is not just about safeguarding the rights and choices of the individual. It is a crucial intervention for improving mental health outcomes and for improving the prospects of Uganda's development.